Welcome to the first tutorial of how to become a great recon in Battlefield 5. I've noticed that other recon videos in Battlefield 5 haven't covered all the things which I think is crucial for recons, so I'll share my skill tips with you. I do have a lot to say, so I'll divide my tutorials into different parts. I'll go very much in depth, so stay tuned. Tutorial number 1 will focus on shooting. Tip number 1. The most important thing of all is being quick. This is what makes the difference between a good sniper and a bad sniper. As soon as you have a headshot, go for it. Standing there waiting an extra second or two, waiting for your crosshair to be exactly on the head of your enemy, is not only going to give your enemy time to move away and make you into the target, but it will also learn you to become a bad sniper. Yes, you will miss a lot of shots in the beginning, but trust me, it's worth it once you have learned it. Tip number 2. Know your range. The effective range depends on your weapon. For example, the ZH-29 is best in mid-range combat, so don't try to get into close combat with it. The Kar98k, for example, is a good weapon for long range and okay in mid-range. Range doesn't have to do with the distance, which is best for you to kill the enemy. It's also reverse. The distance is important so the enemy doesn't kill you. So, if you see an enemy advance towards you, then you should back off until you have an effective range. Let's say you're in a house and missing some bullets on an enemy sprinting towards you. Instead of trying your luck with a lost bullet or two, you should get out of the house, run away, and then start over trying to kill the enemy again, when you are in an effective range. That's good knowing of your range. Tip number 3. Headshots. Obvious, right? But do you actually go for it? Every bolt action sniper will kill instantly with a headshot. If you shoot the enemy in the torso, then the enemy will have time to run into cover. So just practice to get those headshots in. And also remember to be quick. Yes, you will miss a couple of enemies in the beginning, but you will win in the long run. Tip number 4. Aim sensitivity. This is important for you to be able to shoot quick. You will need to set your zoom in sensitivity to a reasonable amount. This takes some practice. You need to be able to follow the movement of an enemy so you don't drag behind with your aim. But you still need to be able to aim properly. So experiment with it. Tip number 5. Zeroing. Zeroing is something which I don't overuse. My tip is to set the zeroing to 150 meters and stick with it. It's a good all-in-all setting. Your mid-range bullet trajectory will be almost the same as 60 meters and your long range will be perfect, or you just have to aim slightly above the target. Tip number 6. Trajectory. Bullet trajectory is the path the bullet travels once it exits the barrel. You will need to predict where and when the bullet is going to land. This takes a bit of practice, but the tip I'm going to share is that you can hold your trigger after the shot. This will make your aim to stay zoomed in after the shot and you will be seeing where the bullet lands. After a couple of shots doing this, you will have a decent sense of where the bullet is going to land, and you don't have to use this anymore. Another recommendation from me is that you should choose weapons with high bullet velocity, since your enemy will have less time to dodge the bullet. Some weapons have a higher bullet velocity as a specialization, so be sure to check out what specializations the weapon have. Tip number 7. Shoot a lot. This goes hand in hand with tip number 1 and the other tips to some extent. Don't worry too much about running out of ammo. Your sense of shooting will be better the more you shoot. Your aim, your sense, your range and trajectory will improve the more shots you've fired. That's it for this time. Be sure to check out my other recon tutorials where I get into more advanced territory. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.